Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Way to Fluency. I'm Clara.
And I'm David. Today we're going to talk about something powerful, the secret power of positive thinking.
Positive thinking isn't about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring problems. It's about choosing to focus on what helps us move forward, especially when learning English.
That's right. Many learners get frustrated when they make mistakes or don't see quick progress. But how we think about those moments makes all the difference.
Let me ask you, have you ever caught yourself saying, "I'm bad at English," or "I'll never get this"?
I'm sure many of us have. But what if you could change that thought to, "I'm learning, and every mistake brings me closer to fluency"?
That mindset change is the foundation of positive thinking. And science shows that it actually rewires our brain to help us learn better.
Speaking of science, did you know there's something called the reticular activating system, or RES? It's a part of your brain that filters what you notice.
So if you focus on negative things like, "I can't speak well," your brain looks for more reasons to believe that. But if you focus on positive things like, "I understood this part," your brain finds more things to support that belief.
It's like when you decide to buy a red car. Suddenly you see red cars everywhere. They were always there, but your brain started noticing them.
Exactly. And in language learning, that means your mindset guides what you pay attention to and what you ignore.
Now, let me tell you a story about a student named Maria. She started learning English at 40 and thought she was too old.
That's a common thought for many learners.
But Maria changed her mindset. Every time she made a mistake, instead of thinking, "I'm terrible," she told herself, "This mistake is part of my learning."
She also kept a journal where she wrote down every small victory. Like, "Today I used a new phrase," or "I understood a movie scene."
She also kept a journal where she wrote down every small victory. Like, "Today I used a new phrase," or "I understood a movie scene."
Her positive thinking gave her motivation to keep going, even when it was tough.
So, the secret power of positive thinking is not magic. It's a way of training your brain to support your learning.
In the next part, we'll explore practical ways you can start practicing this mindset every day.
Now that we understand what positive thinking really is, Clara, how can our listeners practice it every day?
Great question, David. One of the most powerful habits is to celebrate small wins. Even tiny achievements count.
Absolutely. For example, if today you learned just one new English word, that's a win. Maybe you used it in a sentence or understood it in a video.
And when you celebrate those wins, you send a message to your brain. "I am making progress."
This encourages your brain to keep looking for more wins. It's like a snowball effect.
Another way is to practice positive self-talk. This means catching negative thoughts and changing them.
For example, if you think, "I'm bad at pronunciation," try saying, "I'm working on my pronunciation and getting better every day."
It sounds simple, but it changes your entire attitude.
You can also try gratitude journaling. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for, related to your English learning or your life in general.
Like, "I'm grateful I had time to practice today," or "I'm thankful for the friend who helped me with a phrase."
Gratitude helps shift your focus to positive experiences and increases your motivation.
Another practical tip is to visualize success. Imagine yourself speaking English confidently, understanding movies, or traveling without language problems.
Visualization activates your brain's learning centers, making those future moments feel more real and achievable.
And here's something powerful. Surround yourself with positive influences. Listen to encouraging podcasts, follow supportive social media accounts, and connect with learners who uplift you.
Negative environments can drain your energy and motivation. So choose your language family wisely.
Now, listeners, think about your environment. Are the people and media you consume helping your positive thinking?
If not, it might be time for a change.
And remember, practicing positive thinking doesn't mean you'll never feel frustrated or discouraged. It means you learn to respond differently to those feelings.
Exactly. You might feel upset after a mistake, but then you remind yourself, mistakes are how I learn.
That simple reminder can make a huge difference.
Let me share a story about Ahmed. He was learning English in Egypt, and his friends would sometimes laugh when he spoke.
That could be very discouraging.
Yes, but Ahmed decided not to take it personally. Instead, he saw every conversation as free practice, a chance to improve.
And over time, his confidence grew, and so did his English skills.
The key was his mindset, choosing to focus on growth rather than criticism.
So, to all our listeners, what's one small win you can celebrate today?
Maybe it's a new word, a sentence you understood, or even just showing up to study.
Take a moment now and say it out loud to yourself.
That's right. Owning your progress keeps you motivated.
So, David, now that we've talked about how to practice positive thinking, let's dig into the science behind it. How does our brain actually respond to positive thoughts?
Great question. Clara, our brains are amazing organs. One important part is called the neuroplasticity. That's the brain's ability to change and grow throughout our lives.
Exactly. And positive thinking can help neuroplasticity by encouraging your brain to form new connections when you learn something new, like English vocabulary or grammar.
Yes, when you have positive emotions while learning, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, which help you focus and remember information better.
That's why feeling happy or motivated isn't just a bonus. It actually improves how well you learn.
There's also the reticular activating system, or RAS, which we mentioned before. It filters all the information around you and helps your brain focus on what's important.
So, if you believe you're improving in English, your RAS helps you notice every little progress, like new words you understood or phrases you managed to say.
But if your thoughts are mostly negative, your brain tends to ignore positive signs and focuses on failures, making you feel stuck.
That's why mindset really changes your experience. It changes what your brain sees and remembers.
Another interesting fact is about stress. Negative thinking often creates stress, and stress hormones like cortisol can actually reduce your brain's ability to learn.
So, when you're stressed about making mistakes or not understanding something, it's harder for your brain to absorb new information.
On the other hand, positive thinking reduces stress, helping your brain work at its best.
So, the science supports what we said earlier. Your thoughts shape your brain's learning power.
Now, how can learners use this to their advantage?
One practical way is to set positive intentions before studying. For example, say to yourself, I'm open to learning new things today, or I'm excited to practice my English.
This primes your brain to be ready and alert, making study sessions more effective.
And when you face difficulties, remind yourself that your brain is still growing and adapting. It's normal to struggle sometimes.
This understanding can help reduce frustration and keep motivation high.
Exactly. So, listeners, the next time you study English, try to notice your thoughts. Are they helping your brain grow, or are they holding you back?
Remember, your brain is powerful, and your positive thinking is the key to unlocking that power.
All right, David, so far we've talked a lot about the power of positive thinking. But sometimes our minds can trick us, right?
Absolutely, Clara. Many learners fall into mental traps that actually sabotage their own progress. Let's talk about some of the most common ones.
The first trap is called all-or-nothing thinking.
Exactly. This is when someone believes that if they're not perfect, it's not worth trying. Like thinking, if I don't speak like a native, there's no point in studying.
And that's a huge trap. Nobody starts perfect, and even native speakers make mistakes. Progress is what matters, not perfection.
Another common trap is called catastrophizing. Imagining the worst possible outcome, like if I say this word wrong, everyone will laugh at me.
This can freeze your speaking and stop you from practicing, which is essential for learning.
A good way to fight this is by asking yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And will that really happen?
Often, the answer shows that our fears are exaggerated.
A third trap is comparing yourself to others. Only seeing others' success and thinking, I'll never get there.
That's a classic trap on social media, isn't it?
Yes, but everyone has their own pace and circumstances. The important thing is to focus on your own journey.
Another point is impatience. Learning English is a marathon, not a sprint.
And many give up early because they expect instant results, which leads to discouragement and negative thinking.
So the tip is to set realistic goals and celebrate every step forward.
Finally, there's the trap of ignoring your own progress.
This happens when learners only see what they don't know yet and never recognize how far they've come.
To avoid this, it's great to keep a journal or a list of small achievements.
This helps keep motivation high and reinforces positive thinking.
So, to summarize, the enemies of positive thinking are perfectionism, exaggerated fear, comparison, impatience, and lack of recognition of progress.
Just knowing this helps a lot because you can watch out for these patterns and change them.
Exactly. And of course, this is a process. We all have negative thoughts sometimes. The secret is not letting them take over.
Here's a question for our listeners. Which of these traps do you think affects you the most?
Think about it. And when you notice those thoughts, try to apply what we've talked about to change your perspective.
We've reached the final part of today's episode. Now, let's talk about how to keep positive thinking going for months and years, because the journey to fluency is a long one.
That's right, Clara. Thinking positively sometimes is great, but the secret is to build it into a lasting habit.
One very effective strategy is self-compassion.
That means being kind to yourself, especially when you make mistakes or feel discouraged.
This helps you avoid the cycle of self-criticism that only hurts your learning.
Another tip is to create a routine that includes regular moments of positive reflection.
For example, every week, write down 3 things you learned, 3 things you did well, and 1 thing you want to improve.
This habit keeps your focus on progress, not just on errors.
And of course, staying connected with people who support you is crucial.
Whether it's study groups, friends, or teachers, they form your positive energy network.
We want to share one more inspirational story to close.
Yes, I met a woman named Sophia who started learning English at 50 years old.
Many people say it's too late at that age, but Sophia didn't think so.
For years, she kept a diary, noting every new word and conversation she had.
When she felt like giving up, she read her notes to remind herself how much she had already achieved.
And the most amazing thing, after 3 years, she not only spoke fluently, but also started teaching English to others.
All thanks to constant positive thinking, patience, and dedication.
So to our listeners, the final message is, think positive, celebrate your progress, and never stop believing in yourself.
Your fluency journey is also a journey of personal growth.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope this episode inspires you to use the power of positive thinking in your English learning and in your life.
See you next time on Way to Fluency. Keep learning, keep smiling.